We like to kick off each and every episode with a tidy little warm-up we call...
Since this is our first episode, I think it would be fun if we share our best and worst firsts. My best first was the first time I ever ate a Little Debbie Swiss roll. I'll never forget that day.
My best first was the first time I ever met Aquaman.
You mean the only time you ever met Aquaman?
Hey, in my heart, I know we shall meet again one day.
My best first was the first time I ever walked on the moon. Except I accidentally stepped in dog dirt and had to clean it off with a space napkin.
My worst first was the first time I was attacked by rhinos. I was so scared.
My worst first was the first time I spontaneously combusted. Everyone started freaking out.
That's why you should use sunscreen and stay hydrated. My worst first was the first time I had to fight Darth Vader in a duel of lightsabers. He's very quick for an old guy.
And that's today's best and worst.
Working hard is what today's episode is all about because our theme today is industriousness.
And no one works harder than the little boy in today's riff flick, Jay.
Oh, I love Jay. He's so cute.
Jay may be cute, but what's not cute is his hideous little dog. And that brings us to today's best and worst. Let's talk about our best pets and worst pets. What do you say, Kelly?
Well, my absolute best pet in the whole world would have to be my little bunny, Lily. Unfortunately, she died after we made last year's movie, The Challenge of the Holy Gorillas.
Thankfully, you made it out alive. Well, I never had many pets, but the best one I did have was Pasquale, my pet sea monkey.
What's the big deal about a sea monkey?
This one could read minds.
Okay. My best pet was Ernie, my floating goat.
That joke looked weird, man.
Now for the worst pets. No contest for me, it was Barry, the menacing chimp.
Yeah, chimps can be very dangerous.
Yeah, especially when they eat your face off and bite off your hands. True story. True story.
My worst was Snowball, the disembodied head of a Mew.
Why? That sounds cool.
I don't know, we just didn't connect.
My worst pet was easily my dog, Coco, Tiger, and Teacup.
Isn't that 3 dogs?
Not really. It was a Cerberus.
Oh, those are tough to train, I hear.
Oh man, you don't even know. Getting even one of his heads to roll over and play dead was like stabbing a compass in your eyes. Kind of hard to get in the mood for Christmas when we're standing on the beach in the dead middle of July, don't you think?
I don't think so. I wish it were Christmas all year long. The trees and smells and frosty chill and Jesus' birth, it's the best time of year.
I won't disagree with you. Christmas carols, snow, angels, the Magi.
You said it. Elves and reindeer, mistletoe, presents, spam.
Spam?
Yeah, spam. I get some in my stocking every year. Don't you?
No, in my stocking, I always get candy and underwear.
Yeah, I get gum and an orange. And once I got some nose hair clippers.
Well, I get a can of spam. So I was thinking today's best and worst topic could be best and worst flavors of spam. Okay, best flavors first. For me, you can't beat good old-fashioned original spam. Just some pork shoulder remainder, a little mechanically separated chicken, and a dash of potassium nitrate for color. Elegant in its simplicity.
Repulsive in its flavor.
And terrifying in its texture.
My best with best in quotation marks is cheddar cheese flavor. Usually everything's better with cheese on it.
Everything except toe jam. My best flavor is treat flavored spam.
I think treat is like a whole different product, actually. Not a different flavor of spam.
Well, who cares, really? What about the worst flavors?
Alright, here goes. But I warn you, you guys watching at home might want to keep a barf bowl handy. My all-time worst spam flavor is down home crunchy style spam.
Ugh, how do they make it crunchy?
I think they add extra gristle.
My worst flavor is spam with marshmallows. I always end up eating the marshmallows and leaving the spam behind.
I did the same thing with Lucky Charms. Coming up with my worst flavor was hard. There have been so many disgusting flavors over the years. Turducken flavored spam, spam with fancy feast added, wombat spam, spam with a twist of lime, But the worst of all time has got to be Neapolitan spam. Ugh.
Neapolitan black.
And that's today's best and worst.
What's all that stuff all over your shirt?
Huh? Oh, that. We were filming part of today's mini-movie at the baseball field, and I kind of slid into third, so it's baseball dirt?
You're never gonna get that stain out of your clothes.
Hey, that gives me a great idea for today's best and worst. Best and worst stains to get out of clothes. Best meaning easiest, worst meaning hardest.
That's easy. Best invisible ink.
See, I would say water.
No fair, you took mine. Well, I'll say, what about oxygen? That's pretty easy.
Yeah, that's easy. Unless it's mixed with black tar.
True. What about the worst? I've got mine. Bile.
Liver bile?
Any bile.
Yeah, that's pretty bad, all right. But what about this one? Arterial spray.
Ooh, that is tough. I got a blouse that got arterial spray on it, and even the dry cleaner couldn't get it out.
What's your worst, T-Rex?
Mine? Oh, what about... Oh, I know. Hot burning magma.
You win.
Yeah, that'll never come out unless you stain stick it.
It's our anniversary. This is our 5th show.
Wow, I never thought we'd make it this far. It's been one heck of a ride.
It still seems so new to me.
For a very special show, we have a very special best and worst. Since today's theme has to do with healthy habits, our best and worst topic is high cholesterol snacks.
You mean best for you and worst for you?
Or best tasting and worst tasting.
Sure, let's start with best first. Mine's fried chicken. Crisp, savory, delicious.
I'll go next. Mine's ice cream. Creamy, smooth, and silky.
Sounds like you're describing pajamas. Mine's pizza. Cheesy, greasy, and easy.
What are those things on top of it?
That's Pez. Pez is the best.
What about the worst? I've got one. A fatback Tootsie Pop.
Adequately disgusting. What about this? A Polish sausage push-up. That'll clog your arteries in no time.
I've got the worst of all. A grease-sickle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's probably
Yeah,
it.
that's pretty bad.
For today's and our last best and worst, I thought it would be a cool idea to go over the best and worst baseball team names of all time. Best team name for my money, the San Diego Padres. Padres. I mean, they're named after Mexican fathers. How cool is that?
That is nice. But my best is the Chicago Cubs. Cubs are such sweet, cuddly little animals. They're like little teddy bears. You can hold them and pet them and listen to them purr. Oh, I just love them.
I'm sure that's exactly what the players want to hear. Well, even though I don't like this team, my best team name is the Boston Red Sox. What few people know is they used to be the Boston Beige Sox, but then their first baseman got his feet caught in a wheat thresher and it ripped his Achilles tendon off. Since he was a hemophiliac, he just kept bleeding into his shoes and socks, and hence the name the Red Sox. Cool, huh?
Now for the worst. This was hard, but I finally settled on the Minnesota Uglinas. I mean, naming your team after a microscopic cell with a flagellum is pretty lame.
Well, I found this tough too, but I eventually chose the Arizona Brown Ooze. Just imagine what their mascot is doing during the game to keep the crowd motivated. That's simply horrific.
I too had a hard time deciding. There's so many. The Scottsdale Girly Throwers, the Jacksonville Crybabies, the San Francisco Communist Sympathizers, and the Richmond Cysts. In the end though, I have to go with what I think is the absolute worst team name of all time. The Sioux City Dead Guys. Now that's just awful.
Agreed.